Hello, my chicklets. Thank you for stopping by. I'm really enjoying this series because it's like I get to share one of my favorite things with you guys. The same thing happened with the Gaps in His Files series. I personally think that what Adriana in the Snow has done with that entire world building has been absolutely immaculate. So make sure to check that story out as well. It is one of my few long stories on this channel. However, there will be one more long story joining the channel at the end of this month. As we finish up these stories from NAD98, I will be reading one of my ultimate favorite stories that they have ever written. I am so excited for that, and thank you for tuning in. For now, we're going to continue the Dark Side Logan saga with Still. Remus didn't get scared. Darkness, heights, spiders, demons, blood. Nothing of it could make his skin crawl, drive him into insanity. Which was good, considering how often he could see stuff like that in the intrusive thoughts which lived rent-free in Thomas's dainty little mind. Surprisingly, he also didn't mind cute or harmless things. Glitter and unicorns were fine, nothing fun but fine. He actually quite enjoyed flowers. Some of them were poisonous, and others just looked neat. Like Russian roulette. It was fun. He also didn't mind loud noises or silence. Thunder out of nowhere was thrilling. Screaming was music in his ears. Uncomfortable stillness between the walls didn't haunt him how they did Janice, Lucas, or Virgil. It had been his way to let them know they fucked up, that they needed to get their crap together and talk. Eventually, it had stopped working. But even that didn't scare him. He wasn't scared of them all fighting or being angry with each other. A fight was an interaction. It showed that they cared about each other a lot since they got worked up about each other's opinions because they mattered to them. Remus didn't get scared. What do you think about Minecraft physics and infinite fountains? Logan just looked straight at the wall. Remus had asked him 5 times already, but Logan didn't react. 5 minutes ago, he had been talking about some nature documentary he had seen. He had been lively and completely with him. But now Logan seemed to be in a different dimension, and Remus didn't know what to do. Part of him screamed to shake him, maybe pinch him, maybe scream loudly, maybe honk. Yet he couldn't. Logan's face looked wrong. His eyes were far away. His face was pale. It was like he was asleep, but more restless than ever. Remus didn't like it. Lo? Is something wrong? Logan didn't react. Remus became twitchy. Remus didn't get scared. If you need space, I can go. It's not a problem. I'll leave. I'll get Luke. I'll get anyone you ask for. I'll give you anything. Remus didn't get scared. But Logan didn't react. Logan didn't seem alarmed by Remus's quivering voice, by his trembling fingers and his frantic eyes. Logan didn't seem like anything. Logan was gone. Gone like Roman. Gone like Virgil. Gone like Janice soon would be. Logan was gone. Logan, please? Please scream, please. Tell me you hate me. Please tell me to never look at you again. Please say you don't like the kiss. Please say anything so I know you're still there. What's going on? Remus threw his head towards the kitchen entrance. Lucas stood on the door still, with a worried expression. Frantically, Remus blinked his tears away and motioned towards Logan. In long strides, Lucas crossed the room and eyed the nerd with concern. When did he get like this? Maybe 10 minutes ago. We were just talking and then suddenly he stopped and I don't know what happened. He's gone and I don't know. I'm sorry. Sorry. Lucas shot Remus a sorrowful look, but then turned his attention back to Logan. He recognized the far-off look quickly. He let out a long sigh and summoned a stress ball. Gently he put it in Logan's hands and pulled Remus away from the couch. No need to be sorry. He's disassociating. Nothing we can do right now. We need to figure out what helps him best when his head is here with us again. Remus looked at him with big eyes. Right. Jan and Virgil had always shut themselves in their rooms when they had gotten like this. Remus had never seen them in this state. And while he could sense that they were feeling off or unresponsive, he had never seen how bad it truly had gotten. Not like Lucas. Lucas had not listened to their instructions and went inside when he shouldn't have. He had seen yellow turn white and purple turn black. He had seen them losing themselves, losing their drive, their spite. He had been supposed to sit with them, to get used to this reality. He hadn't sat down. He hadn't run either. He had thrown blankets over Janice. He had put headphones on Virgil's head. He had picked up stuff in their room and put them back where they belonged. He had prepared baths, warm clothes, snacks they liked. Only then he left. Anger couldn't be still. Anger was the one thing that never stopped caring, which was upset and still full of energy. The one thing that wouldn't yield, wouldn't let itself down. Probably the reason why he was the side that was sort of fading away since Thomas had repressed that part of himself even longer than his dark creativity. But who cares, right? Except for him, obviously. Anyway, back to business. Lucas took Remus by the hand and led him to the kitchen, steadily keeping an eye on Logan. Look, I know you're worried, but it's okay. Logan is clearly depressed. We have to accept that stuff like this is going to happen. Remus shook his head and dug his fingers into his upper arms. Lucas stepped closer to him and put his hands on Remus's. He tried to catch Remus's gaze. This morning, he finally started talking again. Isn't it bad that he's unresponsive so shortly after that? It's not great, but at the same time, I can't say I'm surprised. He cooked with us and talked a fair bit. I'm not sure he's used to so much social interaction anymore. Probably tuckered all his energy out. The tears started running again, and Lucas got a handkerchief to clean Remus's face. The mustache was a challenge to clean, but it wasn't a first. Remus at least let him help him try to calm him down, unlike other people who refused his help despite their obvious need for it. Finally, Remus's face looked a little cleaner, and Lucas told him to sit down at the kitchen table. Like that, he couldn't see Logan right away, and he wanted to keep Remus's mind off of him for a moment. Remus hesitated, but eventually sat down and summoned a little bowl with rusty nails in it. Loudly, he began chewing on one, and Lucas let out a long sigh. You're not easily distressed. I'm scared. Lucas almost choked on the air he was breathing. Baffled, he watched Remus swallow the nail and push the bowl away from him. I like him. He's listening to me. He's smart and kind. He'll leave. Remus stared down at the tabletop. His whole life he had just waited for people to leave him. He had seen his other half being taken away from him, running away from him. He had seen his horror movie buddy being terrified by him and turn away the first chance he got. He saw the snake slipping away quietly with every glass he sipped. The only exceptions were Lucas, Patton, and Logan. Lucas was the same as him, so he understood. Being angry, being loud, and obnoxious all the time was not only hard for people around them, but also hard for themselves. It was hard to have intrusive thoughts and rage fits. It was hard to feel the urge to blurt out terrible and angry things with so little control over them. They tried, but it was never enough. Patton had never attempted to give him a chance, so Remus never gave him one either. I hate that you made him feel so much. I loved the kiss. He's warm, he's caring, he's bright. He's Thomas's wonder. He's got the same excitement I and the ego got. They threw him in the gutter, but they're not mindless, not stupid, not cruel. They don't see that they never will because we can't tell them. They won't listen to us, not with the stunt Janice pulled on all of them. They always think we have a hidden agenda, bad intentions, but we're just fucked up. I just see horror and gore and disaster around every corner. You're just angry and loud. We never meant to be this way. The chair next to Remus scraped loudly over the floor as Lucas pulled it back. Remus didn't look at him as he sat down. Logan never meant to be like this either. He doesn't want to be like this, and I don't want him to be like this. I want him to be okay. I want him to be fixed. I don't care about us anymore. We're lost causes anyway. We have to do something for him. We can't leave him like this. Remus wasn't one for dreaming. He also wasn't one for reality. His world was nightmares, or an eerie version of what people perceived as the reality. Lucas didn't like it. Lucas didn't like those dark and scary things, even if he found the concept intriguing. They kept him up all night, and let him scream louder than Logan could cry out falsehood. And yet, Lucas would have preferred to hear Remus go on and on and on over the way maggots could eat his rotting brain after it spilled out of his head when he finally fell down a cliff, than listen to him talk like this. He hated hearing him lie to himself like that. Rem, no, please. Lucas put his hand on Remus's shoulder and squeezed it firmly. You're smarter than this. You know that is not how it works. He won't go back to how he was before. Never. The world should make an exception for him. I'm not saying it shouldn't be that way. It just isn't. They all suffer so much. How are we supposed to make it whole again? Lucas sighed. He let Remus lean his head against his own and let the silence sink in. They had started to get used to it. It truly had been necessary to get used to it, with Logan needing so much rest and space. It wasn't easy for Lucas to remain still. I don't know. I don't think we can do it on our own, really. But Remus was scared. But we'll make the start. We'll see this through, Rem. But Logan was tired and depressed. We'll make them care again. Maybe not like they used to, but they'll care for us again. And for them, he would learn to be still. Thank you all for listening. This one was really hard for me to record because I was fighting not to cry during some of those last parts. It can be really hard to have friends who you have just seen the world tear them apart and all you want to do is make it better. But I think it's really important to remember that having friends who do want to make it better can mean a world of difference. Thank you all for listening to today's story. I do hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on Friday.